In this video, we are going to be multiplying fractions. Now, when we multiply fractions, it's a little bit different than when we add or subtract fractions. When we multiply fractions, to get our new numerator, we simply multiply our numerators together, and that will give us a new numerator. And to get our denominator, we don't have to worry if our denominators are the same. Okay, and that's a big thing when we're adding or subtracting fractions. We need our numerators to become the same before we can manipulate and solve those problems. But when we multiply, it does not matter because to get our answer, the denominator in our answer, we just simply multiply our denominators together. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do it, and then we're going to simplify our answer. Okay, so we're multiplying these two fractions together. First, we multiply the numerators together to get our new numerator. So that's 2 times 2, and that's simply 4. And then to get our new denominator, doesn't matter if they're the same, doesn't matter if they're different, we're just going to multiply them together. So 8 times 3 is 24. Now, when you're dealing with fractions, it's a good idea to simplify your answers, okay? Even if you're not specifically asked to simplify, it's a good idea to know how to simplify your answer. So that's what we're going to do right now. Now, the first thing we can do, there's many different ways you can simplify. You can take your numerator and your denominator, and you can break them down into all their factors, find the common factors, simplify out the common factors, and then what you're left with is your answer. Or you can do it in a stepwise type fashion. Okay, I'm going to show you the stepwise way because that sometimes it's a bit easier to understand and we might be a little less likely to make mistakes that way. Okay, so the first thing we look for when we want to simplify a fraction is, are the numbers in the numerator and denominator even or odd? Okay, if the numbers in the numerator and denominator are both even, that means that we will be able to remove a factor of 2 from both our numerator and our denominator, okay? If they're both even. So when I look at my numerator and I look at my denominator, I see they both have a 4 at the end, okay? A 4 is an even number, 24 is an even number, 4 is an even number. So I know I could divide both my numerator and my denominator by 2, and I'll end up with whole numbers for the numerator and denominator, okay? So let's go ahead and just do this, all right? What times 2 gives me 4? Well, that's simply 2, right? We just did that. So we have 2 times 2. What about in our denominator? What times 2 gives me 24? Well, that's 12 times 2. Okay? The reason I'm writing it out like this is so we can see how we can simplify, right? I have a 2 on the numerator and I have a 2 in the denominator and they're multiplied. So I can cancel these, okay? Because they're the same. So what I'm left with then is 2 over 12. But wait a second. Did I not say if our numerator and denominator are both even numbers, then we can remove a 2 from both of them? So we can do that again, okay? So I'm going to rewrite these. What times 2 gives me 2? Well, that's 1 times 2, right? What times 2 gives me 12? Well, that would be 6 times 2. Okay, so I'm just doing the exact same thing again. I'm doing it stepwise, right? Just a 2 at a time. Okay, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I can cancel my 2's in my numerator and my denominator. And look what I'm left with. 1 over 6. Okay, so that's my fully reduced simplified answer. So 4 over 24 is equal to 1 over 6. They're the same answer, okay? Now, could we have reduced it quicker? Yes. We could have recognized that 4 was a factor in our numerator and in our denominator. That just means a number times 4 could equal 24, okay? In this case, that number is 6, the whole number, okay? So you can simplify faster if you want, breaking down into factors, finding the biggest factor, biggest common factor in your numerator and denominator. Or you can do like what we just did, where you just do a stepwise, piecewise reduction. Whichever way you feel more comfortable doing, we still get the same answer. Okay, so our final answer then with reduction is 1 over 6. If you would like to learn how to quickly study for your GED exam online and get a new resume, then visit testprepskills.com.